It started like just another messy feud inside the world of love and hip-hop. But what began as shade and a wig-snatching fight between Sierra and Yandy quickly spiraled into something darker than anyone imagined. The argument was supposed to be another chaotic on-camera moment, but when the lights went off and the cameras stopped rolling, the whispers only got louder. Sierra began hinting that she had real proof that could destroy Yandy's carefully built image. She wasn't just talking about hair-pulling or petty grudges. She was hinting at something that could break an entire family apart and possibly shake the very foundation of the franchise. The accusation that Yandy had been hiding a secret child. Not with Mendeecees, but allegedly with another cast member. The streets of Atlanta lit up instantly. Blogs posted receipts, gossip accounts ran wild with screenshots, and social media timelines filled with theories that ranged from wild to terrifyingly believable. Some fans laughed it off as one of Sierra's desperate attempts to stay relevant. But others insisted she wouldn't make a claim like this without something to back it up. Within hours, hashtags like #TeamSierra and #TeamYandy began trending. And the producers who normally thrived on chaos were suddenly panicked. This wasn't just drama anymore. This was a scandal that could risk lawsuits, contracts, and possibly ruin the brand they worked so hard to protect. When Sierra first let those words slip, the air shifted. People who were in the room said it wasn't just shade. It was a threat, delivered with the calm confidence of someone who believed they had nothing to lose. The whispers turned into murmurs, the murmurs into rumors, and within a day, the rumors became a full-blown firestorm. Old photos resurfaced. Posts from years ago got reshared. Fans began pointing out every gap in Yandy's filming schedule, every mysterious family-related hiatus, and tying it all back to the supposed child. Was that time away really about family emergencies, or was it about covering up something deeper? Mendeecees, who had been trying to stay away from the mess, suddenly found himself dragged into the eye of the storm. He wasn't the one being accused, but the silence surrounding him made things worse. Fans expected him to defend his wife immediately. A real husband would speak up. One fan wrote under his latest Instagram post, "His silence says everything." Another replied, "The longer he kept quiet, the more suspicious it looked." Behind closed doors, insiders said Yandy was both furious and heartbroken. One close friend revealed she broke down crying, saying, "She's trying to ruin me. This isn't just about a fight anymore. She wants to destroy my marriage and my family." Her voice, trembling with both anger and fear, showed how deep this rumor had cut. Unlike past drama, this wasn't about shade or social media clout. This was about her home, her children, her reputation, the things she had spent years protecting. Meanwhile, Sierra was doubling down. Instead of walking back her comments, she leaned into them harder. People who spoke to her privately claimed she was bragging about the proof she had. She was overheard saying, "Y'all think she's perfect, but she's not. Everyone protects her, but I know things people don't know. And if she keeps coming for me, I'll bring everything to the surface." That single statement sent shockwaves through the cast. Even the producers, who lived for messy fights, looked uneasy. The fans wasted no time dissecting everything. Old interviews where Yandy avoided certain questions were replayed, slowed down, analyzed. Old pictures where she stood a little too close to certain male cast members were reposted with captions like "This makes sense now." It didn't matter if the clues were real or imagined. The audience treated it like a crime investigation. Every hug, every smile, every tagged post became evidence. Things took an even uglier turn when trolls began dragging Yandy's kids into the mess. Strangers started tagging them in comments, asking if they knew about their secret sibling. According to insiders, this broke Yandy completely. She allegedly said, "They're bringing my kids into this, and that's something I'll never forgive." She tried to hold her head high on camera, but off camera, she was shaking to her core. Sierra, however, saw the storm as her chance to shine. She went live on Instagram with thousands of viewers watching. She didn't say names directly, but she dropped enough cryptic lines to set the internet on fire. "People always want to make me the villain, but the truth is I don't speak unless I've got a reason," she said with a sly smile. The comments exploded with fire emojis, shocked faces, and people demanding receipts. She leaned closer to the camera and added, "Sometimes silence ain't golden. Sometimes silence is guilt." Then she logged off, leaving fans foaming at the mouth. Clips of that live spread like wildfire. Blogs exaggerated every word. Headlines screamed, "Sierra exposes Yandy's secret," and "Hidden child bombshell rocks, LHHATL." Even cast members who normally stayed quiet started reacting. Erica liked a shady post. Bambi was overheard telling friends she thought Sierra was bluffing but admitted the situation was spiraling out of control. Suddenly, the entire cast was split down the middle. One insider claimed that during a private meeting, Yandy broke down and screamed at the producers, "This isn't just TV, this is my life. You let her say whatever she wants, on camera, and now my kids are targets." The producers who normally thrived off the chaos were silent. They knew this storyline was already the most talked about scandal in years, but they also knew if the wrong move was made, lawsuits could follow. Finally, Mendeecees decided to break his silence, but instead of shutting down the rumor, he made it worse. He posted a vague caption, "People will always try to bring you down when they can't reach your level." It was meant to be a clapback, but it only fueled the fire. Fans immediately connected it to the scandal. "If it's not true, why not just say that?" One person commented. "This feels like deflection." Another wrote. His choice of words created more suspicion than clarity. The internet spiraled. Fans started digging even deeper. They compared Yandy's old interviews where she spoke with confidence to her current shaky demeanor. They replayed footage from the reunion, where she hesitated for a split second before denying the rumor, and slowed it down to prove she looked guilty. The hashtag #YandyExposed began trending, pulling in viewers who didn't even watch the show but loved the scandal. Even Rashida, who normally stayed out of mess, made the situation worse. During a live, she told fans, "I don't know what's true or false, but women don't throw around accusations about children unless they really believe something is there." Her words instantly went viral. People interpreted it as her siding with Sierra, and the comments lit up, accusing Yandy of lying. The more Yandy denied it, the less people seemed to believe her. Every denial was called damage control. Every Instagram post was labeled a distraction. And when she finally released a carefully worded statement calling the rumors jealous lies, fans pointed out that her tone looked tired, and her eyes looked sad. Her words said "I'm fine," but her body language screamed "I'm breaking." The feud spilled onto the set. During a tense group dinner, Sierra looked Yandy dead in the eye and said, "Truth doesn't need defending." The silence afterward was heavy. Yandy's hands shook as she tried to reply. That tiny moment of weakness was clipped, shared, and dissected online. Overnight, it became a meme. Mendeecees too couldn't escape the humiliation. Paparazzi caught him pacing outside events, his jaw tight, his hands shaking. When asked by a reporter if he believed the rumors, he muttered, "I know my wife," before walking away. But instead of shutting things down, those 4 words sparked more debate. Did he mean he trusted her completely, or did he mean he knew her too well to be surprised? Other cast members began chiming in with cryptic messages. One posted, "Secrets don't stay buried forever." Another wrote, "Loyalty is rare." They didn't name names, but fans immediately tied it back to Yandy. The entire cast seemed to be feeding the storm, either for clout or out of genuine suspicion. By now, it was no longer just a rumor. It had become the heartbeat of every conversation. In the LHHATL universe, podcasts debated it. YouTube blogs dissected it. Barbershops and beauty salons argued over it. Even fans who once swore they supported Yandy began saying her silence looked too much like guilt. The producers saw the ratings spike, but they also saw the danger. What if Sierra actually had proof? What if a lawsuit followed? What if the entire franchise collapsed over one reckless accusation? But no matter what they thought, one thing was certain: this scandal wasn't dying anytime soon. The fallout from Sierra's accusations didn't fade, it grew heavier with every passing day. By now, what started as a messy wig snatch fight had turned into the most dangerous scandal love and hip-hop had seen in years. Everyone was talking, from gossip blogs to mainstream outlets, and no one seemed to know what was true anymore. What made it worse was that Sierra refused to back down, while Yandy's silence kept making her look cornered. The audience wasn't waiting for receipts anymore. They were demanding them. The storm intensified when whispers about the alleged father of this supposed secret child hit social media. The rumor tied him to another male cast member still actively filming with Yandy, making every new episode feel like a live investigation. Fans replayed footage from old seasons, pausing on hugs, lingering stares, or playful jokes that suddenly seemed suspicious. Innocent moments were twisted into proof. Suddenly, even the quietest gestures became magnified. The alleged father himself stayed silent at first, But that silence cracked when pressure reached a boiling point. He posted a cryptic caption on Instagram. "Sometimes the past doesn't stay buried." That one line sent the internet into chaos. To the public, it wasn't just a caption, it was a confession. Comment sections flooded with fire emojis, broken heart emojis, and endless debates. Some argued he was feeding the scandal for clout, while others swore he had just admitted everything without saying names. For Yandy, the situation became unbearable. Brands started distancing themselves, putting deals on hold. One endorsement she had worked on for months was suddenly pulled back. The reason wasn't stated publicly, but insiders knew the scandal was too messy for sponsors to risk being attached. Her empire, which she had built so carefully, was beginning to crack, and worse. The paparazzi delivered the final blow. A blurry photo surfaced online showing Yandy meeting privately with the alleged father. It didn't matter that the picture was grainy, or that there was no context. The internet didn't care. To them, it was confirmation. The narrative shifted instantly. She wasn't just being accused, she was now caught. The hashtag #YandyY exposed exploded again, climbing into trending lists across multiple platforms. The pressure inside the cast was suffocating. At a private meeting, Sierra once again leaned into her claim, this time holding her phone like a weapon. Witnesses said she smirked as she scrolled slowly, teasing that the truth was just a swipe away. She didn't flash the full screen to everyone, but the few people who caught a glimpse gasped loudly, covering their mouths. That reaction alone was enough to convince the rest of the room that whatever she had was explosive. Yandy, visibly shaken, stood up and demanded, "Show whatever you've got, because I have nothing to hide." But her voice cracked, and that tiny crack sent waves of doubt through everyone watching. Mendeecees once again tried to defend his wife, but his words fell flat. He told reporters, "I know my wife," but fans twisted it into another puzzle. Did he mean loyalty, or did he mean he knew she wasn't innocent? The internet debated for days, turning his short sentence into memes and think pieces. His once strong and respected presence now looked shaky, like a man who was either blindsided or quietly complicit. Meanwhile, the rest of the cast began throwing fuel onto the fire. Rashida hinted in another livestream that women don't lie about kids unless they believe something's real. Erica liked more shady posts. Bambi told her circle the situation was getting too real, but she too couldn't resist sharing cryptic reactions. The producers stayed quiet in public, but behind the scenes, they were in full panic mode. Ratings were through the roof, but they knew lawsuits and reputational damage could be just around the corner. The worst part for Yandy wasn't just the public dragging it, was what her children were enduring. Trolls tagged them relentlessly, asking cruel questions about the supposed sibling. According to insiders, Yandy broke down completely, sobbing as she told friends, "This isn't just about me anymore. They're dragging my kids. I can't forgive this." She tried to post a photo captioned "family over everything," but instead of calming the storm, it only fueled it. Half the comments were supportive, but the other half accused her of using her children as shields. The alleged father finally began cracking under the pressure to. Fans noticed he turned off comments on his posts, avoided eye contact in interviews, and looked visibly nervous during group tapings. Whether it was guilt or just the suffocating weight of suspicion, his change in demeanor was obvious. The once charismatic man now looked haunted, his silence feeding the very rumors he hoped would fade. The audience was hooked. This wasn't just gossip anymore, it was a cultural event. Podcasts, blogs, YouTube breakdowns, Twitter threads, even casual conversations in salons and barbershops revolved around whether Yandy had really hidden a child. The entire Love and Hip Hop franchise had become defined by this single scandal. And then came the twist no one saw coming. A woman surfaced online claiming she was close to the alleged child. She didn't drop names directly, but her cryptic posts were sharp enough to slice through the noise. She hinted at late-night visits, emotional breakdowns, and family secrets that aligned almost perfectly with the timeline fans had been obsessively piecing together. Overnight, she became the internet's new obsession, and her words became fuel for a wildfire already out of control. The tension reached a dangerous high during one heated group taping. Sierra stared Yandy down and repeated her line, "Truth doesn't need defending." The room froze. Yandy's face hardened with anger, but her voice cracked again as she accused Sierra of jealousy, desperation, and clout chasing. Still, the conviction wasn't there. The louder she shouted lie, the less people believed her. Sierra, smirking, leaned back in her chair and waved her phone again like a queen holding the winning card. Security hovered nearby, ready to intervene, but neither woman threw hands this time. Words were there, weapons, and each one cut deeper than fists ever could. By the end of the night, the entire cast was divided. Some begged Sierra to reveal the receipts. Others said the drama had gone too far. But nobody left. Nobody looked away. They knew they were witnessing a moment that would define the show for years to come. The scandal destroyed boundaries between TV and real life. Yandy's silence, Mendeecees' shaky defenses, Sierra's confidence, the alleged father's cryptic posts, and the mysterious woman online. It was all too messy, too layered, too real to dismiss as just a storyline. The lines between entertainment and truth blurred until no one could tell the difference. By now, the damage was irreversible. Brands pulled away. Friendships fractured. Children were dragged into gossip wars. And the very foundation of the show shook beneath the weight of the scandal. Whether or not Sierra truly had hard proof didn't even matter anymore. In the court of public opinion, perception was reality. And the perception was brutal. As the camera lights dimmed at the end of filming, one thing was clear. The love and hip-hop world would never be the same again. The accusations of a hidden child had become bigger than the feud, bigger than the cast, bigger than the show itself. For Yandy, her silence might have been her shield, but now it looked more like her downfall. For Sierra, her boldness made her look like either the ultimate truth-teller or the ultimate villain. Either way, she held the spotlight, and she wasn't letting go. The entire city buzzed, waiting for the next leak, the next post, the next meltdown. And fans everywhere asked themselves the same question. Was this just reality TV drama taken too far? Or was it the unraveling of secrets too big to stay buried?